So I'm Allison. I am 51. I am a caregiver of my 56-year-old Iraqi vet husband. In 2008, my husband was in a convoy that hit an IED and was under fire, and my husband was injured because he was in the back of the truck that was in front of the truck that hit the IED. So the percussion blast blew my husband forward. He has a traumatic brain injury. He has PTSD. And he also has ailments that come from just him getting older. He has diabetes. He has a lot of arthritis. He doesn't sleep well. He has nerve pain. He has neuropathy. He has a lot of issues. So my husband, in 2008, after coming back from Iraq, the Navy, he was Navy Seabee, a chief, and the Navy had him stay in Portsmouth, Virginia. We live in Ohio. And he was a recalled reservist, so they treat that differently than active duty when they're injured. And my husband had to stay in Portsmouth, Virginia, so he could be seen at the Portsmouth Medical Center. And he was in Portsmouth for 19 months. I finally got him home. We lived at the time not far from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, so I was allowed to get a lot of his treatment at that base to finish up until he could be medically retired from the Navy. And I want this channel to not only be about caregiving, of which I would love feedback and love to share ideas, organizational thoughts, plans, new treatments, for PTSD, TBI, depression, any of those things. But I also am passionate about the caregiver themselves, making sure they're not forgotten. I have learned over the last 12 years that it is equally important for me to take care of myself as it is for me to take care of my husband. Because if I am not well, I cannot be present for him. I have learned that the stress that I juggle in this life that we have tends to manifest in physical ways. So I have had hair loss. This is a wig. My hair is growing back, but it's thin and fine, and I'm afraid to use heat on it, and I'm afraid to put any chemicals on it, and I'm trying to give it some time to become healthy, if that's possible. But with that, my eyebrow hairs fall out, my eyelashes fall out. It's not just the hair on my head. I sometimes have trouble sleeping. My weight is, I'm not nearly as thin as I'd like to be, but it's not really about a number. It's about like where it goes. It tends to be more concentrated in my middle, which is a sign of extreme stress. And I also, my back occasionally spasms and such. I am a full-time caregiver for my husband, and I also have a part-time job outside the home. And on those days that I'm gone, my 27-year-old son lives with us, and he is the secondary caregiver to my husband here in the house. And I don't know what I would do if he weren't here. He is in school. Second time around, he graduated 2 years ago with a bachelor's in psychology, and now he is going back to school to be a cannabis lab tech at Hawking College here in Ohio. And this is first of all, I know there's going to be strong opinions about cannabis. There's going to be strong opinions about everything. But I think that a journey of care for yourself and your loved one is something that is personal. we all need different things, and that's okay that we all need different things, and it's okay that we all have a different way of coping, and it's also okay that different medicines work differently on each of us. My hope is that this channel starts conversations, that this channel becomes informative for things that I learn. I'm going to share, and I hope that's reciprocated. And I hope that there is a way to make the caregiving community something that is not isolated. Sometimes when you care for somebody physically and mentally, you do lose a piece of yourself, and it's very easy for you to become tired and say no to events outside the home. Maybe you don't maintain friendships the way you once did, and that can be difficult and can make you feel even more lonely. I think it's really important that no matter how we do it, that we figure out how to maintain those connections outside of ourselves and outside of our loved one, because that's pivotal in keeping us all healthy. For me, I have a very strong relationship with my mother, with my sons, with my sisters. I have a best friend that I go to the gym with whenever I can, and that is great for my mental health. Those endorphins, that you can release when you work out at the gym, hallelujah for that, because that keeps me sane. I'm very active. I am a Catholic. I'm very active in my faith and in my church. I sing in the choir. I also sing in a community choir. This is all on top of my caregiving duties and my outside job, which is also as a caregiver to another person. I work 2 11-hour days a week with this other person, and then the rest of the time I'm home. I juggle schedules. I juggle everything. I am not Superwoman. I do not have all the answers, but I have learned how to be grateful for what I have. I have learned how not to be angry about what I've lost. I've learned how to be accepting of the changes that have come that I didn't ask for. And if there's any way that I can help anyone else, I would love to do that. Till next time.